It looks like we're live now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still waiting over here.
still waiting. We are live.
There we go.
I feel like we're live.
We are live.
We are live. And Jesse's here today too. It's been a while since we've been back in the office for an office hours, for a live office hours. And we thought today would be the perfect day to do it because it's the first day of spring. And guess what you get on the first day of spring? Snow. Right?
That's right.
Does the sound okay?
Yeah.
Everything's good. Okay, good. So we're back for office hours for another time to talk about movies, talk about books. Hello, Maddie. Hello. Welcome. We're going to talk about books and movies and lots of different things today. And snow in Buffalo. Maddie said we've got snow in Buffalo. And very, very well, thank you. Mike is here also, and Modesty Blase. You know, I was saying Modesty Blaze for the longest time, and I think that's wrong. And of course, Modesty will tell us in the chat, but it's really Modesty Blase, I believe. We're doing well. We are doing well. Good afternoon, Mike and Modesty Blase. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that correct, but we're doing well. We're inside today. It's the first day of spring, but yet it's been snowing out all morning today. Very cold. We can't open the windows. But that's okay. This is what happens in this area, right, in the springtime.
Oh, he says it is Blaze.
It is Blaze. Oh, I thought it was a movie called Modesty Blase. But see, I guess I was right the first time. Oh, as in a fire. Oh, very good. Okay. Very good. I'm glad you clarified that.
Well, we weren't sure because we
weren't
a
sure.
film with that title.
There's a film with that title, yeah. And I thought it was Modesty Blase. But anyway.
You can't put accents in names, I guess. So.
Yeah, do I have a bad experience in movie theaters? I don't think we've had bad experiences in movie theaters, have we? I haven't had one in a long, but we don't go to the theater that much, right? So
I think just people on their phones, because like the screen glow is a little distracting sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Modesty, for clarifying that. We really appreciate that. And hopefully everyone can hear us okay. And I thought first of all I would talk about this new project I've been working on, and I haven't really talked about it really on the channel, but I thought I would talk about it a little bit today. And that is a musical project that I have with a friend of mine. We have a band called Building 600. I have this T-shirt here that says Building 600 on it, and I've been adding some links in my videos, and I thought I would talk about it a little bit more today. But it's just a friend of mine, John, and I, we've been making music for a while, and recently got together a few months ago and started working on a new record, which we just released in March. Thank you so much, Matthew. I appreciate that. We wrote a song called Jeff Goldblum, which I've been using which I used in one video. And that was one of the first ones we recorded, and we really enjoy it. I was going to try to do the origin story. Yes, the album is now on Apple Music and Spotify, and I really appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much for the kind words. This is just a fun little project that we're working on. That my friend John and I have been working on. We're writing a lot of new music. We're working another record right now. And we've got some old music that we'll probably release at some point. But if you get a chance, it's all free on Spotify. It's free on Apple Music. There's a Bandcamp site as well, but it's all free. So if you can, that'd be great. Just listen to it. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment here if you're watching this on replay. But John and I are really happy with it. We're having a lot of fun doing it. It's really just kind of quirky space rock, we call it. We call it space rock.
Yeah.
Space rock for the most part. Yeah. So it's a lot about space. We're huge, I guess, we have a technical background, so we end up writing things about space and, technical things for whatever reason. But anyway, we're having a lot of fun. And I thought I would talk about it today. We have this T-shirt made too. This is the cover of the new record called Echoes of Andromeda. That's the new record. Yeah. And you've had to listen to this. I'm not saying you've had to listen to it, but you've listened to it so many times because as we've been mixing and everything, Jesse's been listening to it, leaving some comment, letting me know, what she thinks. But
I know it's the first day of spring, but I think Christmas Time in Outer Space is pretty good.
We have a song called Christmas Time in Outer Space too, which will be great for the holidays, I think. And
It's fun.
it's a lot of fun. And there's another song called Black Hole. We have Jeff Goldblum that we already mentioned. What are the other songs? We should just say the other songs. I wish I could remember all of them.
Summer Song. On there?
Summer Song is on there. The Laundromat is a Time Machine, which is a fun song. You Can Dream About It. That's another one. It's a nice one. We do have some serious, songs too, but a lot of them, most of them are just kind of quirky songs, and we really have a lot of fun doing it. So check it out if you can. I thought I would wear the shirt today and talk about it a little bit. If you're watching this on replay too, you can leave me a question or let me know what you think. That would be great. I haven't seen Between the Lines. I'm glad that you enjoy the titles. The titles are pretty unique. We write about some pretty unique things, but this is interesting. I'm going to have to ask John this question. You know John pretty well. I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to do that.
I don't think this band plays out really.
We don't play out, but there is a possibility though, Mike, I have to say that in my local area, I've talked to John about this before, that I might actually go out and play a couple of shows. I was just practicing Black Hole acoustic live the other day.
Yeah.
And I thought, and you heard it. And I think I could probably pull that off if you've heard Black Hole. So I might do that. I might perform live, maybe someplace here locally, but
you could have like a acoustic live stream if you wanted.
I could do an acoustic live stream. You're right about that. I'm going to have to talk to John about that. That's a great suggestion, Mike. And we'll have to see what we can do. John and I are working on a new record right now, and
well, John could be like, if you did like a Zoom, like a StreamYard.
If we did a Zoom thing,
he could just be like a black screen or something. And
he's gonna love this idea, by the way.
And he could, play behind the screen.
Some Cat Stevens. I know John's a big Cat Stevens fan, and also Jim Croce. So maybe we could do, So anyway, there's lots of options, but of course, I'm a little. Jerry Garcia, maybe I could, play some of that and, mix it in with some of the other tunes. But Modesty said, have we ever seen the Between the Lines from 1977? I need to see that. I think we're probably going to end up doing a sequel to that song, or to at least to the video, to have a couple more titles, because so many people have suggested so many great Jeff Goldblum movies that characters that I forgot about. So
because we're not well versed enough in Wes Anderson to have enough Jeff Goldblum, but like you could do a whole verse just about his Wes Anderson.
Well, because he was in Asteroid City, right?
Yeah.
Did he play the voice in the?
No, I think he's maybe the narrator.
I thought he was the alien or something. Yeah, the alien. Yeah. So anyway, I thought I would talk about that today. And again, happy to answer any questions. This is really a live Q&A. This is an office hours feature we have on the channel now, where I used to do a recorded video for questions and answers, and we thought we'd just do it live because we're in the office. It just turns out we're in the office usually in the morning, but also a little bit in the afternoon in this case.
That's right.
Because it's snowing outside. Well, it's not snowing anymore, but it was snowing earlier.
Oh, it looks like it all melted.
Yeah. So any questions that you have, anything you're interested in, entertainment news, food, anything like that is all open for discussion. So feel free to drop a question in the chat. And again, if you're watching this on replay, feel free to leave me a comment. As I said, Jesse is here too. And so just off camera, because you don't like to be on the camera, which I know. You've been in a few videos. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I'm in most of the vlogs that go outside.
A lot of the vlogs when we're in the car. You're okay being in the car.
Well, most of the time when you want to go live, I'm not really like dressed for company.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm not always dressed for company either, because we don't have a lot of company. But Modesty said it's spring weather here in Wales. Wow, Wales! I would love to go to Wales. I know this is all a surprise. This is all a surprise to you probably, but I would love to go.
I've heard good things about Wales.
I've heard good things. We're going to talk about what we're watching today too. We've been watching The Walking Dead, which we're really enjoying lately. And please let us know too if you have trouble hearing us at any time. We got the microphone positioned in between us, and we'll probably get another microphone at some point. But we've been watching The Walking Dead, and I only have this. We got it on Vudu at a really good price, but we only have this season in physical media, season 9, which has a digital copy with it. And what do you think of Walking Dead so far? I think we've been really enjoying it.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's much better than I remembered.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm really having a good time. I like it when we find a show that really resonates with us, or we're really in the mood for it.
Oh
Can
yeah.
you hear everything okay over there?
Yeah, I just wanted to
You're always
check
checking,
you
yeah.
facing me because
Oh,
the phone
sorry.
kind of blows out sometimes.
Yeah. But
It's been fun watching it without all the commercial breaks.
Yeah.
Without having to wait 2 months for the mid-season premiere, and yeah, because I feel like the last time I watched it, I was watching it while it was airing on TV. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and I've seen the show a couple times now. I've seen it more than you
Yeah.
because I watched it we talked about this before too. I saw one time on my own, and then
yeah.
when we first met, we watched it
Well,
together.
but by the time we were in season 3, we were watching it together. So this is only the second time watching season 3
Watching season, yeah,
since it
exactly.
aired. And
I thought
12 years ago.
the fight scenes and everything are really so well choreographed. I mean, Michonne is such a great character.
Oh yeah.
I will bring the Blu-ray if I ever get to Wales. I guess we'll have to write this down and make that commitment. If we ever go to Wales,
We'll
bring a Blu-ray of Columbo.
Modesty, the Columbo Blu-ray
Yeah.
set.
So that's yeah. Hopefully at some point. I mean, I would love to be able to do that. Region A only. It is Region A only, unfortunately. But if you have a region-free player,
Yeah.
that'll work. I'm hoping for another. Speaking of Columbo, don't get me started on Columbo already.
Already.
I'm already
15
started on
minutes in.
Columbo. I'm hoping there's going to be another set with all the TV movies.
Yeah. Maybe they will, because the rights change all the time, right?
Maybe, yeah. I'm hoping that there would be more extra features too on the Columbo set if they do a second, set, which I've heard they're doing.
Yeah.
Now, this is not official or anything like that, but I heard that's possible. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
A second set.
a second set with
You're
all
just
the
hoping
movies.
if you talk about it enough, it'll happen.
It'll happen, right? As well as Mark Ruffalo playing Columbo, which I really think would be a great thing to do. Which I've said before on these live streams. I've said Mark Ruffalo perfect for Columbo.
Which service or network would make it happen?
I mean, it probably can't be CBS, right? Because isn't CBS doing that new show, Elsbeth?
Yeah, but I mean, right now, like Columbo's on Peacock, right? So it'd have to be like an NBC.
Maybe it could be, maybe it could be an NBC thing. Maybe exclusively on Peacock. The new Columbo.
But isn't that a conflict though? Because he is a ABC Disney guy because he's the Hulk.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I don't know. We can only hope that would happen. But I will say, speaking of Columbo, I did try chili for the first time. And since the last live stream, since the last office hours, I tried chili.
You tried chili before the last office hours.
Did I?
Because last week was.
Well, it's been like 10 days since we've done it. So I think this is the first time that I really talked about chili.
Because we were it was a Sunday, and then I think we had chili like the next day. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the days.
But I really liked it. And we put some sour cream, some cheese on there. We had some crackers, we had chips, we had you got some bread. You got some really good bread.
Yeah, I like to dip bread in mine.
Yeah. I think it's like a Walking Dead type meal, chili.
Yeah, last time we watched Walking Dead, I think the thing we maybe forgot when we talked about our Walking Dead past is that there was one time for a little while in a summer a few years ago, we were trying to catch up, I think. So we picked up on season 7 or 8 where we had dropped off last time. And at that point we ate a lot of canned ravioli.
Right.
And then that's also an actual The Last of Us meal, right? Is canned ravioli.
It seems like whatever show we're watching, we get into the show to the point where we're making food that's related to that show. It seems like.
Yeah.
It just took me a while with the chili. I finished Columbo and then decided to, try some chili.
Yeah.
But Columbo has his chili at a diner, and he crumbles crackers in there. They're typically saltines too, not the smaller saltines, but the larger crackers. The regular crackers. If you have any questions too, let us know in the chat, and we'll be happy to divert the conversation and talk about any questions. Away from food and Columbo. I mean, because I could talk about Columbo forever.
Yeah.
For hours and hours.
So we're on season 3 of Walking Dead.
Season 3, yeah.
That's where the governor is
Walking
introduced and Michonne is introduced. This is season 9, right? In your hand.
This is season 9, yeah.
But we're on season 3.
We're on season 3.
With the governor and Michonne in the prison.
I thought Michonne. I love the character of Michonne,
Yeah, she's
which
great.
you can see on the back here too. There's Michonne, and Rick, of course, and Carol and Maggie.
Well, yeah, because now there's like Rick and Michonne have their own new show.
Oh, that's the thing too. Yeah, I mean, if we finish this, right, we'll be able to watch that new show if we have AMC Plus.
With Rick, we can watch the Daryl show because he has his own show, and then Maggie has her own show. So we've got a lot.
We have a lot to catch up on. Yeah, Maddie says saltines or oyster crackers are mandatory for chili and all ice cream based soups.
No, not ice cream.
Oh, did I say ice cream? Oh, cream based ice cream. I would like an ice cream based soup.
That's a milkshake.
An ice cream based soup is a milkshake. Yeah, you're right. I guess I'm thinking about ice cream.
Well, because we've been watching Till Death, right? They talked about ice
cream. Oh,
Till
Till Death, right? That's the other show we've been watching a lot too with Brad Garrett and what's her name?
Jolie Fisher.
Jolie Fisher, right? Which is really funny. Surprisingly funny on the Roku channel. Till Death, which is there's 80 episodes of it, which I didn't realize, and I remember seeing it years ago, and we're really loving that. So we've been watching that at night for some laughs, right?
Yeah, it's funny. It gets funny.
I think it's funny. Like the first season is a little weak, but it's getting better. The script is getting better.
Yeah.
So,
because they talked about ice cream last night.
Is that why? And also, Brad Garrett eats a lot of the same things I eat. He's 6'8".
Yeah.
Brad Garrett, right? And so he eats like Pop-Tart sandwiches, and he's always eating on the show, which makes me, popcorn, pretzels. He's always eating something on the show.
Did you know he's the tallest man in Hollywood?
He's the tallest man. So the little bit of trivia for you, the tallest man in Hollywood is Brad Garrett at 6'8".
Yep.
If you know anybody taller, let us know in the chat.
I Googled it, and it said he's the tallest man in Hollywood. I mean, basketball. We know basketball players.
Basketball
are taller
pretty well,
than 6'8", but actor-wise, he's the tallest man.
We've been watching a lot of basketball.
Oh, it's
a tremendous amount of basketball is being watched in this household.
Every night we watch basketball.
We're making music with Building 600, and we're watching a lot of basketball.
That's right.
And because I'm a huge, I would say huge.
No, huge. Yeah, I mean,
Celtics fan.
Buy some merch.
We're gonna have to get the merch. We're gonna have to.
I feel like I've watched enough basketball that I can, in confidence, buy some merch because I'm a fan.
What are we gonna get though? Hats?
Well, I need a summer hat.
Shirts?
And I need a sweatshirt probably. But we're getting into playoff. Who's going to the playoffs?
Yeah. By the way, let us know in the chat too if you'd like to be able to get this shirt, because there's a limited amount of these, namely 3.
I thought there were only 2. There's 3.
Well, there's 3 different kinds of shirts.
But then
we've only made a few shirts. We've only made a couple of shirts, but I do like Uncut Gems.
I guess I have to watch it.
We have to watch more of it probably.
Well, I think I'm more open to watching Uncut Gems after I watched the other. What was the other one?
Well, the Safdie brothers. I mean, you are in for a very tense ride with the Safdie brothers. With Good Time, was really a tough. I mean, I had to watch it to the end to see, but Uncut Gems was really the same way.
I feel like I watched Good Time for the most part, because a lot of times you'll put on a movie and I'll do something else, like read or play a game or something, and you put on Good Time, and then I was in on it.
Every time Mike, thanks for this question, but every time Ghostbusters is mentioned, I have the Ghostbusters theme in my head. I have the Ghostbusters theme in my head all the time, probably, since it's out there.
Yeah.
Will we be going to see that in the theaters? I think we probably will wait for that. Although we saw the popcorn, the bucket, right?
Oh yeah,
it's different than the Dune bucket.
Cool.
It's different than the Dune bucket.
Yeah.
It's much more friendly than the Dune.
The Ghostbusters popcorn bucket is infinitely better.
It's the slime bucket, but you're still putting your hand into the slime character.
But it looks so cool because it's see-through and stuff. I mean, I feel like no, we're not going to see Ghostbusters because we haven't watched the other.
We need to see the other one. We need to see the other one first.
We just haven't watched it.
This is the same issue that we had with Dune. I've heard, by the way, Professor Strangefinger, I've heard that Late Night with the Devil is really good too. So that'll be interesting to see. That's been showing up a little bit more on my feed.
Is that a Safdie film?
I don't think it's.
No, it's just a film.
It's just it's another film. Maddie said Ghostbusters is the first word I could spell as a child. That's interesting too. I don't
That's
remember.
like
I don't remember the first word. Do you remember the first word you could spell as a kid? I don't remember that.
the first word I could spell.
It's nice to remember.
No,
those
I
things.
don't remember that, but I do remember that I was probably maybe 8 when I saw Mars Attacks for the first time, which I don't know that that's a great parenting choice, but I loved the aliens, and the aliens say like ack ack ack. So I wrote my dad like a
Is that like that Billy Joel song?
Heart attack ack
Heart
ack.
Attack. Is that the same with Mars Attacks?
Kind of, yeah.
I don't think it was
but
around
then,
that time.
So I wrote my dad a note, and I wrote like ack 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 on the letter as like a inside joke.
You're a big Mars Attacks fan too.
I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm sure it's not as good as I remember.
No, but I mean, movies that you've seen early in life, though, you remember those a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah.
Right? Mars Attacks. We don't have a copy of Mars Attacks either.
I think it's one of those movies that's hard to get.
Is it?
Yeah.
We'll have to look that up.
I think it is.
Getting back to The Walking Dead too. So we're on season 3. I love how too when you're watching The Walking Dead, when you're watching it on streaming, because we have the digital copies on Vudu, and we have been looking for physical media copies at Big Lots because that's where we got season 9. But we haven't been able to find any recently. I mean, we had one trip back to Big Lots and we didn't find any.
I guess we can get Mars Attacks, but it's not. You can get the DVD for $8.
Modesty Blaze said, "We're looking forward to baseball season." Haven't I been talking about baseball season already?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not really even a sports guy. I think I'm becoming a sports guy.
I think you are too.
I think I'm becoming. I've been watching golf clips and everything. I'm not going to watch golf. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to watch golf. But baseball and basketball, I feel like I'm kind of into those.
Well, we've watched like World Series runs in previous years.
Yeah.
But now that we don't have cable, we decided to get the NBA package so we could watch basketball. So we'd have something to help us remember the days of the week.
So we can remember the days of the week? Yeah.
Because those are like appointments we have every day about who's playing and when we need to pay attention. And then, we've been talking about baseball, but we're going to have to get like the MLB package, which I think is like significantly more expensive.
Is it?
I don't know, but
there's a lot more games, I think, probably than basketball. But basketball's a shorter game, it seems like. Baseball's long. It's going to be a long game.
Basketball's like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Baseball's like 4.5.
I don't know if it's always 4.5, but it seems like there's a lot of discussion in baseball, right? A lot of discussion, a lot of rulings and stuff. Matty says, as an NFL guy, it's free agency and draft season too. Yeah, and then it starts, that whole cycle. The Yankees came to London a few years ago. Interesting.
Oh, I think there were some basketball games in London.
Were there some really?
The season. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I saw Joe Mazzulla was doing a jersey swap with one of the. I think he was swapping with Man City, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now that we're talking sports a little bit, I feel like I'm going to get hooked on it too, as Modesty Blaze said. We're gonna get hooked on that too. It helps me read, believe it or not. I like to have a game on. I like to read while I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's something that'll be good. Maybe we can just get like the Red Sox package or something
instead of all
the teams.
We'll have to look into it.
We'll have to look into it. I don't know. I know if you get the league pass too. Like, wasn't the league pass down to like $15 because it's near the end of the season, right? We got it around the holidays, and it was $50. And we have used that so much. We even like the halftime shows. We like they've had those acrobats on and things like that, right? They have like these crazy kind of juggling, acts, right?
Oh yeah, remember the lady
with the bicycle?
Yeah,
there was a woman that rode a bicycle that was really, they're so talented, and I don't even know how you practice for that. There's probably a lot of practicing for that kind of thing before you go in front of a crowd like that.
Right.
Modesty said, baseball and chill. That's kind of the way I feel. I feel like there's a vibe where, you have it's the summertime.
Yeah.
You have the windows open, nice little breeze coming in. You're reading a book, and then you've got a baseball game on. I feel like that's something I remember doing as a kid. I don't have Dish, but we do subscribe through Amazon. We got the league pass. We got the NBA league pass through Amazon, and I feel like it's been really worthwhile. And we can watch some of the games on replay or see highlights or something like that. But we know so many of the players. The Celtics players. We were looking up Joe Mazzulla the other day.
Oh yeah.
Watching him on the sidelines and things like that. There's so many great, and of course, the Celtics are, they have another 15 games to play, but they're basically in the playoffs anyway. We know
Well,
that.
they're definitely in the playoffs. Yeah. I guess it's called MLB.TV. We have to look into on Amazon.
Is it? It's on Amazon, you think?
Well, it's called MLB.TV.
Did it already start? Did it already start? Oh, okay.
Baseball.
Did I miss it? Yeah. I thought, since we're talking about The Walking Dead too, you're reading these, which we have the original graphic novels, right? Are these graphic novels, or they're not really? It's not really novels.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
they're comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're in issues and installments, so I think they're considered comics.
But these are great too. And I've read a lot of these too. But how many of these do we have? We have 11. We don't have the
12.
12. Okay.
There's 32, and we have 12.
You're reading these to see.
And they're re-releasing the issues in color.
In color, okay.
And so I'm reading it along with as we watch.
Yeah. I would probably need to start reading these too. The more we get into it.
Well, I mean, I'm up to volume 5 now. Yeah.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to say too, which I think the first time we watched this, but Scott Wilson plays Herschel in The Walking Dead, and I wanted to mention a couple films that he's in too, because I guess I didn't realize this when I was watching that. I feel like he's such a great, performer. He's such a great actor, and of course he's in this movie, In the Heat of the Night, which is a great film that I talked about before with Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger. But Scott Wilson's in this one, and I think this is a brilliant film, directed by Norman Jewison and featuring the editing of Hal Ashby, which again I've talked about before. But Scott Wilson's in this one. He's got a small part in this one. And then this is another film that I haven't really talked too much about on the channel, but this one is a great movie if you haven't seen this, The Ninth Configuration, with Stacy Keach, Scott Wilson, and Jason Miller, among others. But Scott Wilson is amazing in this one. Yeah, there you go. Maddie said, Scott Wilson, yes, Ninth Configuration. What an amazing film this is. And this is a Blu-ray, and it's got some extra features. The audio commentary with William Peter Blatty, who wrote The Exorcist, right? Featurette, deleted scenes and outtakes. There's the back of that. I'm just gonna read a little bit of this too, because in the final days of the Vietnam War, the Department of Defense has set up a mental hospital for soldiers in a remote castle. And a new psychiatrist, Stacy Keach, arrives, assigned to determine if any of the vets are faking mental illness. And that's basically the plot of this movie. But it's really a really well done, creative movie. Stacy Keach is great in it. Scott Wilson is amazing, and I haven't talked about it really on the channel, but it's really good. Modesty said we just did a Mr. Tibbs trilogy, or triple, the trilogy, the Kino 4K to get the Tibbs trilogy. Yeah. I only have that one copy of In the Heat of the Night, but is this invading your desk over here if I put the stuff over here right now? Okay. So certainly any other questions? We usually, for the office hours, we're usually on for about an hour, right?
Yeah. Did you see the Shogun question?
Where was the Shogun? Did I miss the Shogun? Oh, we started to watch Shogun, and it looks really good. I just, for whatever reason, wasn't in the mood for it, but we do. It's on our list to watch.
Yeah,
it looks really good, and I did pick up. Yeah, nice. Visually it looks really great. Yeah, sorry I missed that one. But any other questions too? Feel free to ask us any questions about anything that's happening right now. Lots happening with physical media. I heard about some of the issues with the release of the 4K release of The Abyss and Aliens, and some of the True Lies. Also, people were, seemed like they were having some trouble finding those. I haven't purchased those yet. I usually wait on those, because if it seems like there's a run on the movie, usually they realize there's a shortage and they start to make more, right? And then they're on discount later. So I usually wait for those, and I think that's happened a couple times.
That happened with Oppenheimer.
Yeah, with Oppenheimer, right? We just waited for Oppenheimer.
Sorry, they announced a new Star Wars show.
Oh yeah?
Is it a show? Yeah, a new show called The Acolyte. Have you heard about that?
I haven't heard about that, no.
The description doesn't really help that much, but so there's a new Star Wars show coming out in June
Is that on Disney Plus?
on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Triple J said watched the Straight Time for the first time. That's one of my favorite movies from the 1970s with Dustin Hoffman. I mean, Dustin Hoffman is amazing. That movie. You remember that movie, right? Where he comes out of jail, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember that one?
Does that one
It's
have
one of my
that
favorite.
like diner scene later in the movie?
There's a diner scene
Yeah.
later, yeah, and it's a really great movie. If you're a fan of 70s movies, it's one of my favorites for sure. And Warner Archive has a great release of that. Warner Archive, by the way, still doing great work
Yeah.
releasing movies. It's really snowing hard again
Oh,
now.
geez.
On the first day of spring, welcome to spring.
Welcome to spring. Here's some snow.
Spring has sprung, and here we go.
Speaking of Dustin Hoffman,
Yeah.
another one of my childhood films was Hook.
Hook, yeah, that's a great
I
one.
really love Hook. Yeah, which I didn't know that he plays Hook in that movie because there's a lot of makeup.
We have to
make
watch
him
that. Yeah.
That character.
Yeah, Modesty, highly recommend that movie. If you're a fan of the 70s, Straight Time is really up there in the top 10 for me, for sure, of 70s movies, although you have a lot to pick from.
A lot.
Hook, we have to watch Hook, right?
Hook, yeah,
We should watch
the
that.
Spielberg film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg.
It's very good.
Yeah, Spielberg
Did
films.
you know that Meryl Streep's in that movie for like a second?
Really?
Yeah.
What does she play in that?
The man who gets put in the chest with the scorpions
Oh, really?
on the ship. Yeah, the blue box.
I don't remember the movie that
Yeah,
much.
I think
but
I heard
I mean,
that's
it's
Meryl Streep.
isn't it the Peter Pan story?
Yeah, his name's Peter Panning, and he is an adult. He grew up, and then his children get taken, and so he has to go back to Neverland to get them back.
To get them back, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, and I probably saw it. Are the 70s films are great. What are some other 70s films that we like besides Jaws, of course, which I talk about so much on the channel? But
Well, I mean, like The Godfather is a '70s film.
The Godfather's good, yeah, very good. I
The
mean, that's a classic.
Exorcist.
The Exorcist, yeah.
Um,
There was one that I was thinking of. It's Scarecrow. That's the other one with I think Al Pacino and Gene Hackman. And that's another
a good one.
70s movie.
That one's like
that I
Straight
like.
Time a little bit.
Yeah. And I think there's another movie there's an imprint release called Fear is the Key. Remember, that's the one
Oh,
with
that one's good. Yeah.
Barry Newman. Also, Barry Newman's in Vanishing Point, which is really great. That's another driving
Oh
movie
yeah,
from the
that one was
70s.
good
Yeah.
too. Is that the one that like starts with like the driving sequence and then it's like told? in, like,
Vanishing Point
a
starts with the
flashback?
driving. Yeah, with the driving. Yeah.
And all
yeah.
the cop, like that was like a lot of cop
Yeah,
cars in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, if you're looking for Spielberg, though, Sugarland Express was in the 70s too, which is
That's
one of my
pretty good,
favorites,
yeah.
which has a lot of police cars in it too, which I like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie said Glenn Close plays a pirate in Hook. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Thanks so much to everyone for joining us today too in the chat. We really appreciate it. This is, like I said, a new fun little feature we have called Office Hours for Q&A. And what else was I going to talk about? Oh, I was thinking about watching these movies too. And we can talk about anything, of course, but we just looked this up. There's a new 4K of this, but I was thinking about rewatching this trilogy, the Darkman trilogy, which I really like the first one. Oh, Northern Lights said, welcome also, Northern Lights, Spy Who Loved Me. You know what? The 70s are such a great time for Bond movies also, right?
Oh yeah.
Spy
Also,
Who Loved
don't
Me.
forget
Those are the first.
The
Yeah,
Bond movies are all books.
yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah.
have nice new covers that all match.
Yeah, I mean, don't we have an issue with that too? We have to get the covers that match now, usually.
You
If we
like, now
I
that
have.
you're like you're what is this like your latest installment of Reading, which is what probably like Dave Reed's like 3.0.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, right.
You happen to find authors who have like matching set covers,
hmm
and Ian Fleming would be one of them.
Ian Fleming would
Yeah.
definitely be one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, or like we were looking at Tony Hillerman novels and the
They all
mystery
have
mystery
matching
novels.
covers,
Yeah,
too, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
blizzard
'cause-
here, by the way.
because
There's a
that's
blizzard
a-
happening here right now.
Oh man.
Not really, but it's
Squall.
a bit of a squall there.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's also those Tony Hillerman books are that show Dark Winds on AMC.
Dark
also.
Winds. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right
Yeah.
about that. Triple J said, I saw The Swimmer yesterday. You know, that's a movie that I've been really wanting to get for a long time, and it's on my list. And I'm glad you mentioned that because that's another one I need to pick up for sure. The Fortune, 1975, Mike Nichols film with Jack Nicholson. That sounds right up my alley. I love Mike Nichols and Jack Nicholson, of course. So that's one that I definitely need to add to my list. So thanks for that recommendation. The Darkman series, I was thinking about. There's a 4K of this, and there's a Steelbook with a Blu-ray, right?
Steelbook Blu-ray.
Yeah. but I got the trilogy, I think, on discount years ago, and I've been wanting to watch the first one. I really like the first one, directed by Sam Raimi of the Spider-Man films, of course, and many others. Evil Dead, right?
Yeah.
This complete collection follows the daring journeys and action-packed escapades of the action hero Darkman as he assumes alternate identities to battle evil. Liam Neeson.
Is he Darkman in every movie, or just?
I thought he was, but I could be wrong. I think maybe I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the others, but Darkman itself, I think, is Liam Neeson. And of course, we just talked about Liam Neeson maybe starting with the Naked Gun. He's going to get into the Naked Gun series too, which would be pretty interesting. Is he in all three?
I don't know.
Oh, so speaking of books we were talking about, I finished this Neil Gaiman book, but this is the thing we're talking about with the covers, right? These beautiful watercolor, releases, and this is a great book that reminded me of Ray Bradbury, The Halloween Tree, and it's really just a mix of thoughts about. I'll just read the back. Returning to his childhood home to attend a funeral, a middle-aged man is drawn back to a place once alive with monsters and magic, to a past where the impossible is all too frighteningly real. So I love how this has yes, it's about monsters and things like that, but it's also, as it says on the back, a haunting meditation on memory, wonder, friendship, and sacrifice. Anyway, I really love this, and it really got me into the Neil Gaiman universe. Is it a Neil Gaiman universe? I don't know.
I don't know that they're connected.
I don't know that they're connected, but anyway.
The Neil Gaiman backlist.
The Neil Gaiman backlist. I saw that the question there too. But this is the one I'm reading now, the Graveyard book, which I'm kind of liking maybe a little bit more. And it's got these wonderful illustrations in it too. I'll just show a couple of those, like this one here on the page, which is really nice. But one of my new favorite authors, but you can see, like I said, everything sort of matches, right? These kind of match these watercolor covers, which I really like. So that's what I'm into lately. And apparently it has the same cover.
Big Bang Theory, right?
Because of Big Bang Theory. Well, that's partly because, but I was aware of Neil Gaiman, for a long time. I just hadn't had a chance to do that. I have a place on the top of my shelf now. You have a lot of books, but I have maybe, I would say probably between 140, maybe a little bit less than 150 books, probably. But what I do is my favorite books, I put them top on the shelf as I can, so that I know those are my favorites. Those are ones I'm going to reread over and over again.
Yeah.
And Neil is up there.
He's up there.
Along with Kurt Vonnegut, J.D. Salinger, some others that I have up there. Nick Cave has his book up there too, with the poetry books. Well, so far, I mean, I'm running out of space, right? But Triple J said, I came to the stream a little bit late, but did you give your thoughts on the June Criterion announcements? Let me just look at those real quick. I did see the announcement, but I can't remember. I know there were some. Where is that now? The June releases. There were some 4K announcements too, right? They usually do a couple of things. Blue Velvet's going to get a 4K, right? That was what was going to happen. I have to say, I'm not familiar with the Underground Railroad, Victims of Sin, Bound, or Corel, I believe, the Fassbender movie. But they all look good. I mean, I'm definitely open to all these new releases. I mean, I love that Criterion is releasing films that.
Is that? No.
What's that?
Well, never mind.
Oh. So anytime there's a release like that, I just am not as familiar with those. I think the Blue Velvet 4K, I'm not going to be upgrading mine, but it is getting a 4K Blu-ray. But I'm not planning to upgrade mine. I have the Blu-ray already, which is fine for me. And then also, I think Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is getting a 4K, which I already have, and so I'm not going to be upgrading that. But I mean, it's nice to see these 4K upgrades. I just am not as familiar with the other films, but I love getting films that I'm not familiar with to learn something new, to really study films that I'm not as familiar with. And so that's probably, those will still go on my list for sure. I was thinking about doing another count of Criterions the other day, because I think I have probably close to 500 now, I think, especially with the library hall and everything like that. I feel like I have quite a few of those. Would I like all of them? Of course. I would love all the Criterions, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we're thinking about, as we're doing some spring cleaning too, we have room for more shelves and things, which we were talking about for books and movies. And we always give a few things away to the library. The library does a sale every 6 months they do a sale. They do one in October and they do one in June, right? So we usually do something then.
They haven't announced it yet, but they're going through some staff changes right now. So
yeah, that's right. But speaking of the Criterion sale, I did a Criterion haul, and I wanted to talk about this movie too, which I think is really beautiful. This is a 4K this is one that I did get because the Blu-ray DVD I think was out of print for a while. But Days of Heaven, if you haven't seen Days of Heaven, I absolutely love this movie from Terrence Malick. One of my favorites from Terrence Malick, and I got the 4K. Usually with these on the 4K, if it's a good price and it comes with if it comes with the Blu-ray as well as the extra features on the Blu-ray, then I'll pick that up usually. But look at the artwork too on this one. And I showed this. There's another recorded video I did where I showed the inside of this. But this is really a beautiful Terrence Malick movie. I love Tree of Life, and I like the what is it, The Thin Red Line. But
yeah, that one's really pretty.
Yeah. And this one has I think this one has the audio interview with Richard Gere on it. It's got interviews with Bailey, cinematographer Haskell Wexler, and actor Sam Shepard. I'm a big fan of Sam Shepard, not only as a playwright, but as a writer. And so that's always of interest to me. But this is really a well done movie if you're not familiar with it. And it was out of print for a long time too. Let us know in the chat too. Any final questions or anything that you are curious about or want to mention? Let us know in the chat. I guess we're going to do office hours when we can, right? That's what we've been doing. I think because it's been cold and we haven't done an office hours in a while, we decided to do one today.
Yeah.
And it's usually around this time, usually 12:30, 1 o'clock on the East Coast. We might do something on the weekend again. I don't know. Last time we did one on Saturday on the weekend, but we don't usually have anything scheduled specifically, right? So
right. Sorry, I fell down a hole because it seems like the Underground Railroad is an Amazon Prime miniseries based on a book. So the whole miniseries is in the Criterion.
Is it?
Well, because it's 585 minutes.
Okay. Oh, that's probably true. I don't know.
And I looked up the director, and he's the one who did like If Beale Street Could Talk, and he directed the series. So it's really a TV miniseries in the Criterion Collection. Is that true? Chat, do you know anything?
It says it's from 2021, but let us know in the chat if you know anything about Underground Railroad, which I'm just looking at the description here too, and it doesn't really say anything about the series. Because I've been interested in the book. Like it's a well-known book. It's like an alternate history kind of situation, and then it was an Amazon Prime show. So is it the Amazon Prime show is now all on this? It said it's from 2021, so I'm not really sure, but if you on the description on the Criterion channel. Oh, yeah. Triple J, thank you. Directed Moonlight, right? We forgot about Barry Jenkins because I remember seeing Moonlight years ago too. Yeah, so
like won an Oscar.
Yeah, I mean these are all interesting.
I was just surprised because I didn't think that Criterion put miniseries in the collection.
Well, as Maddie K pointed out, which is great, which this is one that I wanted to pick up too, which I've seen before. But Robert Altman did a series called Tanner 88, which follows a political candidate. So it's almost like a documentary, but it's really
like a docudrama.
It's like but it's not really. He's not really running for anything, I don't think, in that miniseries. But Modesty said, a question for Jesse: are you a fan of Clint Eastwood? If I'm not, my husband loves him. I think he's a man's actor. Are you a fan of Clint Eastwood? Question for you.
I mean, I don't dislike him, but I'm not particularly fond of him. Like he's fine. I think I feel like I saw like
maybe Dirty Harry or something.
Yeah,
we watched a little bit of Dirty Harry.
That's a 70s film, right? Yeah, I think I saw that one. But he's fine. I don't like choose, like if I could pick a movie, I'm not going to like intentionally pick his films, but I don't like have anything against him.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's got quite a few good films, but I don't usually watch a lot of Clint Eastwood. Of course, he's really good in like High Plains Drifter, and The Gauntlet is one of my favorite movies from Clint Eastwood that he was in, and of course,
Yeah.
Unforgiven, which won some Academy
Yeah.
Awards. I really like that.
I feel like if I were to choose his films, I would watch like the 70s, 80s.
or like the westerns, the westerns that
Yeah.
he was in early
Yeah.
on, right? So, yeah, that's a great question too, and I just don't find myself, when you and I pick a movie to watch, we're not usually going for Clint Eastwood movies usually,
Right.
even though we have some in
Yeah.
the collection. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I guess I
Yeah,
feel like
70s.
I've seen like Dirty Harry, but I guess if I'm gonna watch like a man on a mission with a gun, like I'm gonna watch James Bond. I don't know that I'm gonna like
Yeah.
watch, like, I know they're not like the same, but I'd watch someone else over Clint
anyone
Eastwood.
else we would watch over Clint Eastwood, probably. But yeah, James Bond too. It's funny because a lot of times you get in the mood for James Bond, but let us know in the chat if you have a favorite James Bond film. But I regularly go back to those, but I'll go back to the ones that are from the 60s and 70s. Those are my favorite, probably.
Yeah, when are they
with
going to
Roger
announce
Moore.
a new James Bond?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I thought they just had some news on James Bond. I thought there was some recent news about James Bond, but while you're looking at that, Bad Lieutenant 2, which I have on Blu-ray, I just saw that 4K announcement, which is really good too. Bad Lieutenant is a rough movie with Harvey Keitel, but it's a great one. I have the Blu-ray of that. And didn't they just do an announcement about?
They did. Apparently, they offered it to
Timothy Chalamet.
No, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah. Wow.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Thank you for that. Thanks to the chat for that, and also to Jesse for that too.
The guy from Kick-Ass and Quicksilver. I guess Quicksilver.
Okay.
Okay.
Was that good?
Oh, and they were thinking
Goldfinger.
about maybe Cillian Murphy or Idris Elba were in the running, or Henry Cavill.
I thought Idris Elba might get it.
Yeah.
I thought that would be a good choice. Goldfinger is one of my favorites. Dr. No, which I think is from the 60s, but
it says he's been offered the role, but he hasn't officially signed into the contract.
why doesn't he accept it then? If you get offered the role of James Bond,
he's supposed to sign it this week.
Why doesn't he get to it? He's got to get to it. He's got to sign that
He's got to
thing.
get some more money for that.
Oh, maybe. Daniel Craig, I like as James Bond. I love Roger Moore as James Bond. Sean Connery. I love all the James Bonds, but I mean, I think we go through phases where we start watching some of the Bond movies, right? And then
Yeah, usually it's like a February thing, I think.
Is it a February thing? It is interesting how we just finished The Big Bang Theory, right?
Yeah.
Which we really liked, and it was very emotional near the end. I thought there were a lot of special moments, I think, in season 12, which we were not looking forward to. But interesting. Elba aged out. They wanted to make multiple films with the same actor. That's interesting, Maddie. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Plus, they need someone who's
I didn't really realize that.
They need someone who's like a younger actor to get the younger audience to want to watch it, right? Like, I'm old enough now that I have to look him up, but I'm sure other people are like going crazy over him.
True, yeah. Andre, hello. From Russia with Love is my favorite Bond film. That's the one with Robert Shaw, I believe, right? Which Robert Shaw is great in that. From Russia with Love, that's a great one. I think Dr. No is a little slow. You and I started watching from the beginning, which might have been late last year we started to watch, right?
Last year.
I thought it was last year sometime.
Yeah, we watched. Which one did we watch? That was kind of slow because they spend a lot of time.
We watched Dr. No. Dr. No is a little slow.
Because they spend a lot of time with like the local people and.
Yeah, I think I think that might have been Dr. No, but From Russia with Love, I think has a little bit more action in it.
Oh,
and it is
okay.
Good.
Yeah, all right.
Was there more Bond news?
I'm behind this Bond.
Oh.
He was in Bullet Train.
Bullet Train. Oh, yeah.
And Bullet Train, like the skinny guy.
Yeah.
With Brad Pitt for a long time. So he's going to be James Bond. And and he was in Tenet, I guess, which we didn't watch enough of. He was also in Nocturnal Animals.
Interesting.
And he was in Avengers: Age of Ultron. He was Pietro. So he's got skills.
Maddie was saying, I've heard suggested Gene Page from Bridgerton, Harry Potter 7, and the D&D movie, which I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm excited for another James Bond. I mean, why not, right? I mean, but Daniel Craig is good too. I mean, I enjoyed.
Reboot him again.
Just reboot it again. Just keep the James Bond movies coming, right?
Yeah.
We're usually on for about an hour, so we've got about 10 more minutes, I think. But let us know again if you have questions or you want to talk about anything in the chat, or if you're watching this on replay too, let us know. Leave us a comment. If you'd like to see us on a regular schedule, let us know that too. We haven't really talked about that because we've been kind of doing these randomly, but we can try to do a regular schedule maybe for these. I was going to talk about a couple of the other ones I picked up too. Lone Star I picked up in the flash sale. I did another video on this too. Lone Star, which I'm looking forward to. The film from John Sayles, which I'm interested to get into. This is on the Criterion Channel, or maybe this one is not on the Criterion Channel. I'm not sure, but this one's got a new conversation between John Sayles and filmmaker Gregory Nava. So lots of interesting things on this one. John Sayles, Lone Star. And then this one too, which is on my watch pile right now, The Roaring Twenties. This is a 4K also. The 4K was pretty affordable, and it's got the Blu-ray combo. This is the 4K Blu-ray combo. And it is a movie from 1939, The Roaring Twenties, with lots of extra features. I love when they have audio commentaries with film historians, and there's an excerpt from a 1973 interview with the director, which is cool. So I love seeing those. I just picked up Hollywood Shuffle Triple J, so I'm excited for that. And that's on my list as well. Thank you for the reminder, Caveman Movies and More. 14 people watching and 8 likes. Go ahead and gently press the like button. I never like to say smash the like button. I say gently press the like button.
Yeah.
Click the like button. And I talked about this earlier too, but this is a new musical project I have with my friend John called Building 600. It is a musical project. We just released our first record. We've been making music for a long time. My friend John and I have really been communicating off and on for about 15 years now, making music. And we used to do that when I lived in California. We recently got back together and started making music again. So if you get a chance, the link will be in the descriptions of the videos, but this is our band Building 600, and we're on Spotify and Apple Music. It's all free. So give us a listen. Let me know what you think. You can leave us a comment on any of the videos, because I'm reading all the comments. I'm trying to answer as many comments as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
We don't have a lot of shirts. Right now we have 6 shirts, and that's it.
Right.
We only have 6 shirts. And they're already spoken for. John has a few shirts, and then I have a few shirts. This is one of the shirts that I have. And this is our record called Echoes of Andromeda, which is basically just quirky songs, quirky, funny little songs. And because we both are from a technical background. And so that's what we tend to write about. Sometimes we write about love, though.
That's right. Occasionally
we'll write about emotions.
And then
like real human emotions. Sometimes we write about. But this is one I need to pick up too, Modesty Blaze. After watching Lone Star, I had to pick up Matawan, which I hear is really good too, and that's on my list also. Triple J said I have the Roaring Twenties in Warner Brothers Gangster Box DVD set with White Heat, which is great, Little Caesar, which I have, Public Enemy, which is a classic movie, and Petrified Forest, but may upgrade. That sounds like a great DVD set.
Yeah.
I need to look for that. I get so many suggestions too when we do these live streams, and appreciate everyone who comes to these live streams and provides some suggestions and that kind of thing. So we'll try to do these on a more regular basis. Maybe I'll put something on the community tab and see when is good for everyone to attend. But it's usually when, like I said, when we're in the office. What else are we doing? Big Bang Theory. Oh, we're going to start Seinfeld. We started Seinfeld again from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because that's our next little. We like to watch something funny while we're eating. We don't really. This is our kitchen table back here, right? It has puzzles on it.
It's a puzzle table now.
It's a puzzle table. We don't really eat at a table, right?
No.
Which we haven't for years. We like to eat watching TV. Let us know if you like to eat watching TV. It's not the best way to eat. I mean, I don't think it's good for you physically to eat in front of the TV, probably. But I've always done that. So
yeah. I mean, all the advice is like you're supposed to sit at a table.
You should be conscious when you're eating. You got to be present. Be in the present. Yeah. We don't do that. So we've been watching Seinfeld, and we like to watch something funny. I feel like if you watch something funny while you're eating, you're going to digest better, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I mean, yeah, I think
I don't
so.
know a lot about digestion, but I feel like if you're watching something funny and you're happy when you're eating, then it's probably a good idea. So we're watching Seinfeld after The Big Bang Theory, which sometimes when we finish a good show like The Big Bang Theory, we have trouble finding another show that matches that, right?
Yeah, but we had planned to watch Seinfeld next because
Yeah.
we had purchased the digitals, so we were like, we got to get some use out of them.
And we're watching Till Death.
Till Death.
Till Death, which is with Brad Garrett and Jolie Fisher.
Jolie Fisher.
Jolie
Is it
Fisher.
smelling good?
Carrie Fisher's half sister, I believe.
Yeah,
But she's really
so
funny.
funny.
I haven't seen 8 Men Out, Andrew. I have not seen that, but everyone talks about John Sayles, and I'm sure I'm going to love it. I just haven't had a chance to watch that one. Great Modesty ordered Straight Time.
Yeah,
Very
you
good.
Got another
Straight.
QVC moment where somebody ordered during the live stream.
Someone ordered something. Yeah, thank you, Modesty Blaze. I'm not, of course, I'm just recommending them. I think you'll like it. If you love the 70s, you'll love that. No soup for you. No soup for us.
That's right.
Only chili.
Turkey chili. He orders
Turkey chili.
chili.
Turkey chili. You know, it's funny with some of the early, like we just watched the pilot episode again, which we hadn't seen for a while, but it's interesting that, what's her name? I can't remember her name. Elaine is not in the pilot. No. And there's a dog in the pilot too.
Yeah, like a neighbor dog.
A neighbor dog comes in, which we were pretty surprised to see. And Kramer's in the pilot, which I wasn't sure.
But he's a shut-in in the pilot.
Kramer is?
Yeah, he said he hasn't been outside in 10 years.
Oh, that's
Kramer
right.
says, "Oh, I had tickets to that baseball game," and he's like, "You had tickets to that baseball game? You haven't been out of the building in 10 years."
Oh, because Jerry's watching a tape of a baseball game that gets ruined, and that's how we got into baseball too. That's how we were thinking about baseball,
we're trying to
right?
decide who we're supposed to follow because our natural inclination is to follow the Red Sox, so we don't get
So we don't have the blackouts, right?
Because we live in New York and we get blacked out for games.
So we can't watch like the Knicks or the Nets. We can't watch the Nets or the Knicks or anything like that. Yeah.
Yankees.
Yeah. So we're going to watch that, I feel like, but it's interesting. The George character is pretty well developed. It seems like in the beginning already, he's already has those George qualities.
He's a realtor right now.
The apartment looks different. The Jerry apartment looks different. It doesn't have all the, it hasn't been developed yet in the pilot, right?
Yeah.
Maddie says a really good John Sayles disc is Baby It's You, Rosanna Arquette, Vincent Spano, a few Springsteen songs on the soundtrack. These are all going on my list, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, Hamilton
also,
books. Okay.
We were thinking about seeing some music concerts around here, but I don't. That's the other thing we've been planning for the summer. But there doesn't seem to be a lot of great. There's a lot of great music out there. Don't get me wrong, but we haven't found anything we want to see yet. Musically this year. We usually go to a couple concerts a year, and we haven't.
Well, maybe we'll be watching a lot of baseball instead.
We'll be too busy watching baseball and reading.
That's right.
Reading books.
And watching baseball.
Yeah, I'm averaging about. By the way, I don't know if anybody that's reading. We use Storygraph, which I don't think it's got a lot of social elements, but I like Storygraph because it's got all the stats, and of course, Goodreads I'm sure has stats.
Goodreads has no, it doesn't have as many stats as Storygraph. We really need like a Letterboxd. We need Storygraph to become like Letterboxd for books.
Letterboxd is great. I think Letterboxd was going to be doing TV shows too, so you can start logging your TV shows. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I heard that that's a possibility. So, but if you're not following me on Letterboxd, I log everything I watch there. You probably haven't seen a lot of movies recently that I've been watching because I've been watching too much. Too many TV shows and Walking Dead, which I would log if I could.
You can follow me too if you want, but it pretty much is just a copy of you
of what you're watching.
We watch together, because I only post what we watch together because I don't watch movies on my own.
The Monkey said, just was able to swing by any Columbo today. Yes, we've been talking about Columbo. We've talked about Columbo. Not too much though. I'm glad. Chili.
Mark Ruffalo. That's about it.
The only thing I mentioned is I tried chili for the first time since the last live stream. I've never had chili before. Never had it before, if you can believe that. I've never had chili before, and I tried some canned chili. But now I'm interested in other chili recipes, and I'm getting really into that because Columbo. I figured if Columbo likes it, I should probably like that.
Well, right? But you're not going to smoke a cigar.
Maybe I will.
You're going to smoke a cigar?
No, I don't think so. I'm not going to smoke a cigar. But I might get a raincoat. And at some point,
and a dog,
And a dog, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so everything else except for the cigar, I would. But I am, and I'll have to start looking for things in my pocket or asking you for a pencil all the time or a pen.
Yeah.
Triple J said, after the live stream, I'm going to finish watching Cry Wolf with Errol Flynn and Barbara Stanwyck. I love Barbara Stanwyck. You know, I remember Barbara Stanwyck in The Big Valley when I was a kid. I used to watch The Big Valley, which was a Western series with Lee Majors and Peter Breck, I think, and Barbara Stanwyck and others. Those names just come right off the tip of the tongue. Big Valley. What else did we talk about with Columbo? We finished Columbo, but I would like to start Columbo again from the beginning.
We have too many things to watch.
There's too many things to watch, though. We are watching The Walking Dead, and we're watching Seinfeld. I don't know that those two shows go well together. They're not really matching shows, right? I know. We have to balance it out. We can't watch too much Walking Dead because it is kind of end of the world type stuff.
A few weeks ago, we were watching the Star Wars films, and then we decided to start Walking Dead. So we either work on films together or work on a show together. We only have so much time to watch something serious.
You would think I would be watching movies all day long, but we have other things we have to do too. Reading we have to do, and we've got other chores we have to do.
If we could scroll a little less, we could watch a little more.
If we reduce the scrolling, we could watch more probably. But if there's any final questions, let us know. Or if you're watching this on replay too, leave us a comment. And I think we're. Was there anything else we were going to mention today during office hours? I can't remember now. Let me look at my notes. And if there's any final questions, we will stick around. Oh, Young Sheldon, we started watching Young Sheldon too, but Young Sheldon is a lot more serious.
It's a drama. I didn't know it was a drama. I thought it was a comedy.
Yeah, it's more of a dramedy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, this is really interesting. The Monkey said, from Murder, She Wrote, there's a Glennis John's chicken paprika recipe to accompany the episode, Sing a Song of Murder. That's interesting.
There's a Columbo cookbook.
There's a Columbo cookbook we need to get too. We have a couple of Columbo.
It's more like guest stars provided a recipe.
Oh, the guest stars provided a recipe. Yeah. Gotcha. But anyway, I've only tried the canned chili so far, but hopefully we'll get some recipes. Maybe there's they usually have like a chili cook-off someplace, sometimes. There was
that one time when we went to go to that concert. Remember the next day, the parking garage was free because they were having a chili cook-off.
Yeah. Modesty Blaze said, "Are planning to add more reviews to your 70s Blu-ray playlist?" I really should do that. I don't have a lot of reviews on Letterboxd. If you're talking about Letterboxd, I usually just give it a star rating. I wish there were more stars that I could rate it with, because I feel like 5 stars is really hard to do. And most of the ratings that I give, I do, especially for a 70s film, it's like 3 stars, 3.5 stars. I just wish there were 10 stars. I wish I could do 10 stars on Letterboxd.
Well, you were doing 70s films on the channel.
There are some 70s videos on the channel. On YouTube.
We made those thumbnails for it with like the pictures of the city.
This is for YouTube. Yeah, we could do some more videos on YouTube too for 70s films.
What if you did some shorts about 70s films?
I could do some shorts, yeah. The recommended 70s playlist. I'll probably do some more of those. I don't think they got a tremendous amount of views, is the thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe you could do some shorts.
I could do some shorts, yeah. That's a good idea. So we'll do some more of those for sure. Triple J said we have a Monster Mania convention in my area a couple of times. Oh boy, this looks great. William Shatner. Of course, William Shatner's got that new movie coming out, right? My Name is Bill is supposed to be coming out. And Robert Englund. Wow, that would be great. We haven't been to any convention. Should we go to a convention? Are there good conventions in New York?
Is it the Monster Mania convention?
Where is that?
I'm checking.
We're checking. We're checking to see where the Monster Mania convention is, but
did I hear about this? Oh, so this is going to be in New Jersey, Baltimore, and maybe Philadelphia?
Really?
Yeah.
Would I love to meet William Shatner? Of course I would.
I don't like to be scared, so I don't want anybody to scare me with their masks.
We could cover some of that though if we went to a Monster Mania convention like that. That's what our future holds. I think we're going to be making chili, going to Monster Mania conventions, and
we could, yeah.
Maybe, yeah. So anyway, what else do we have? Is there anything else? Should we? We can stick around. I think right before we have to make a lunch. Sure. I think pretty soon.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
What are we having for lunch? Oh, we know we're having for lunch chicken teriyaki. We're gonna have chicken teriyaki for lunch. Yeah. But
we have a recommended 70s playlist. I guess we need
there is a recommended 70s playlist too. But we'll definitely be adding some more videos there. Skulder, hello. We can stick around for a little while longer too if there's any other questions. Happy to answer any other questions. We're going to be very busy. Usually we watch a little Walking Dead in the afternoon. Triple J said, my wife and I had a photo op with Michael C. Hall and Jennifer Carpenter, who I thought there were a couple at one point.
Yeah, they were married and then they got divorced during the Dexter.
From Dexter at a Monster Mania. We haven't seen Dexter in a long time, have we?
No, but I mean, there's this weird cycling that's happening where things we watched.
Thanks, Maddie, for coming by. Sorry, I had to say thanks to Maddie.
Oh yeah, things that we watched in our past, we're deciding to rewatch, and Dexter would be one because we only watched the end of Dexter together.
That's right.
I watched it independently before we even knew each other.
You and I, the first show we watched together was House MD, right?
We finished that.
We finished House MD.
The first show we watched together from beginning to end was Lost.
Oh yeah, right.
And
have we thought
Hulu.
about? Yeah, we thought about. Is it on Hulu now?
Yeah.
We thought about restarting that. We can't add any more shows right now.
We were going to restart it, and then we had Hulu with the ads, and so we're like, we can't watch Lost with ads, and now we pay for premium Hulu. So.
Yeah. So.
But we can't watch Walking Dead and Lost. We have to wait.
I didn't hear the monkey said a lot of classics are going out of print. I have a lot of classics here at the house, so I hadn't heard that a lot of them are going out of print, but let us know which ones. Any more recommended filmmakers from the 60s to the 90s? I would say, Modesty Blaze, this was for the chat also, if you have suggestions. I would say Hal Ashby is probably one of my top directors from that period, probably 60s, 70s, right, or the 70s, basically. Hal Ashby is a director I could watch those films over and over again. Mike Nichols also really great director. There's so many great directors from that area. Steven Spielberg also doing really. Letterboxd does have 10 levels, so it's a star rating. That's true. The half stars. I forgot about that. Skulder, you're right about that. So it really is 10 levels because you have 5 stars, but you can use the half star. That's a great point. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So it kind of is 10 stars because you're using the halves.
Right. So 3 stars is really like 6.
6 star.
Out
Yeah.
of 10.
Yeah. 3 star. Yeah. 3 stars. Yeah. I guess I need to reconsider that and maybe.
So, but can you only do like 3, 3.5, and then 4?
3.5. You can do 3.5, 4. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, because on Storygraph there's quarters, so you can do 3.25 and 3.75.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. You can only do halves on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Letterboxd. I used to say Letterboxd, but now I say Letterboxd correctly. Well, anyway, this has been a lot of fun, and we really enjoyed it. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to try to do these a little bit more regularly. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and this is just a new regular feature that we have called Office Hours, and we really answer questions. It's more for anyone that has a question. You can always come to one of these. We'll try to schedule them a little bit more in advance, but it's usually when we have time, when we're in the office. Yeah. This is our office.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But you can ask about anything.
You can ask about almost anything here too. Movies, books. I'm reading a lot of books now. Jesse reads a lot of books. Modesty Blaze, Thank you for joining us. Thanks to everyone for joining us here too. We'll try to be back soon. If you're watching this on replay, leave us a comment. Let us know if you have a preference for when you'd like to see us on too, and we'll try to put that stuff together and come back at a time that's maybe more convenient for lots of folks.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to reading, lunch, watching movies, watching Walking Dead. Hope you have the great rest of the week. And we thank you so much. Thanks, Triple J. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. And we'll talk to you very soon. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Love it.
We'll talk about it next
week. The monkey.
We
can talk about it next week. Thank you so much.